What's going on, everyone? Welcome back. We are in the shop tonight. Jake came back. If you guys remember Jake from helping me take the track out, he's back, he's hanging. We are probably gonna work on this. It looks like a total train wreck over here. But in the last video, I told you guys that I got my shocks back from Southside. They are revalved with his special super secret sauce. And we have a different spring for the center shock. He thought this one would fit me better than this one. I don't know what the spring rates are. Like I said in the last video, this is clearly a single rate spring and this is a dual rate spring. Again, I don't know the specs on it, but I trust him, so that's what we're going with. So we're gonna put this skid back together. While we're doing this, we're also gonna put in the heavy duty rear torsion springs that I have that I've talked about in a couple other videos. With the skid being out, they're pretty simple. We pretty much have to take this little torque arm off. I think they're 213s. I actually got tools out already. What is that? Yeah, 13 and a 13. That'll loosen up, pull that off, pull the torsion off, put the new ones on. Then we'll get everything all set up. Shortly, this will be going back in there. I got to put the rear wheels together again. Right now they are just plastic discs. We have bearings and retainers for those, so they got to go back together. And then we're going to start getting this thing put back together. I know you guys want to see it. Also tonight, I'm probably going to do the skid, and then I'm probably going to put the all black side panels back on. Like I also said that I got from my buddies over at Southside Polaris. Put them on the big ones and get them buttoned up so we could see what it's going to look like. But for now, we're going to start with putting some shocks back in. I'm going to start with the rear shock, which is this one. Goes from there to there. You guys saw me take it apart, but if you want me to show you to put it back together, again, it's this bolt and this bolt. You had to take these two bogey wheels off that go in there, which are right here. You had to take the whole brackets off because you couldn't get them out unless you did. So we're gonna put that back in. That'll lift it back up here like so, and then we'll just continue on. So we got everything placed in there. I always keep, when I pull them apart to remember how they go back together, I leave all the bushings and the bolts in their appropriate holes. So that's how I work. Again, I'm sure there's other ways to do it, but that's how I work. I'm gonna leave that casing off it, this rubber casing. One, I hate the look of them. Two, they drive me nuts. They get in the way. There's probably a reason for it, but I don't know it and I don't care about it. So we're just going to tighten these bolts up real quick, and then we're going to get to those. So a little fun fact about these when you're putting them together and it's flipped up on its side. So your front shock, you have two 15s for the top, two 15s for the bottom. For the rear, you have two 13s for the front, two 13s for the rear. So, and I've said it a bunch of times, Polaris makes it so simple to work on things. They keep all the bolt size the same, everything like that. Even, again, the torsion arm bolts, they're two 13s. So, like, I needed 4 to do all of this. And that's it. Other manufacturers, I need the entire toolbox and then some to figure this out. So I'm going to throw these bogey wheels on, which they are, to 10 millimeters. We'll get that back in there since all that's all tidied up. So got our bogey wheels back in, they're all locked in. So these torque arms, I just loosened them. So literally like just broke them free, and that torque arm will come right off. So But again, make sure that you have, and I haven't even marked this one yet. Just make sure that they go back on the same way they came off. But pull them off, slide them off, slide your old spring off. And by the looks of them, you really can't tell. I guess these are a little bit more wound up. But anyway, slide them back on, slide this back on, and then tighten it back up. And that's it. So you do it for the other side. If it's in the sled, you have to drop the rear of the skid. So these 2 bolts, you'll have to, drop it so it comes below the tunnel so you can pull these off to get these off. Actually, it's not that bad. I helped a buddy last year do one on an XCR. Really not bad in the sled. Like I said, you just pick the back end up, drop those 2 bolts down, pull them out. So that's pretty simple. So we're going to tighten up this side and jump over to the other side. And then this thing is, well, and then we got to put our limiter strap back on, but we'll get there. So now we have both heavy duty rear torsion springs in, this one. So you want to make sure that you're on the low setting. So if you guys didn't know, how you adjust your torsion springs is this right here. So this bolt, normally it's under tension because normally the spring's on it. But so you have your low setting. If you turn it up to your medium, that's going to put a little bit more tension, and then you're going to put it up to your high setting. So it's pretty much just adjusting that. So when you go to put these back in there, you want to make sure that's on the lowest, because then it's going to be the easiest for you to swing this back around and put it in your glides here. There's a name of them. I can't think of the name of them. So what should be happening here is me just putting that in there. Jake's going to hold this camera, and I'm going to lift this up and back in. Just like that. Just like that. It's really not that hard. You don't have to be strong. You may think I'm very strong, but I promise you, just an average guy. Anyone can do it. So, and then once here, Jake, show this. And then again, these Polarises, you have a little pin and you put through there, and then this little clip, and that's it. You can spin that around whatever way you want it, but that's what holds that in. So I'm going to spin this way. And go on that side. So we're going to make sure we're on the low setting, and make sure that's in the correct position. And just like that. Now we're back under tension. Oh, so that popped out over there. See, that's the other thing you got to make sure. So I'm going to pull this back out, release tension on it, make sure that goes back in its hole. I'm going to do it again. Popped in. So in, put our pin back in, push it real good. And then just like that. So our skid is now almost back together. Oh. Piece of our axle fell back out again. So, put that in. So now we gotta do our front limiter strap. And again, I showed you guys kind of how to do this when it's in the sled, but we're obviously not in the sled. So that you can see that's not clearly far enough. So we're gonna have, oh, actually I could probably do it because it's not that stiff. Loosen this back up, pull that off, flip it around there, just put your knee on it. Oh, I'm bleeding. Just kneel down on it. If you do it at the right angle, you'll have more than enough. That's it. So now our limiter strap is back on. So we'll tighten that up, and then that is rear skid. Rear skid's back together, other than the rear wheels, but we're not going to get to that tonight at least. So we're going to tighten that back up, and we're probably going to put these side panels back together. So we're back. We stole Nash's blanket again, and we're going to put these back on. So just as they came off, there's a couple like push tabs like this one and that one and that one, and then there's just a bunch of screws. So I'm gonna try and get this lined up. Jake's gonna hold this camera for me. And we're gonna try and figure out how these go. So I believe I'm on the right side. And just as I say that, I realize that I'm not on the right side. So I gotta grab the other one. There we go, that's a little better. So these are just, like I said, push tabs. So there's one tab here. Push that in. Tab up here. Flip this over. Tab. Tab here. Tab there. Tab there. And then we got a couple screws. Nothing crazy though. These are pretty simple. I forget what size these are. T25 Torps. There's a bunch of them, kind of scattered. You just gotta find them. Not drop them. There was one, I think there was one more on one of them than there was on the other one. I don't remember which stuff. So I'm gonna put these together and then throw them on the sled here shortly. All right, guys. So panels are back on, and I am super excited about how this thing's coming out. The all black, and I know there's a little teaser on it in the couple videos ago, but I didn't have these black pieces in there yet. But wow, does it look so much better. And I like the gray. I just think that all black is so sick. Me and Jake were just talking with the gold shocks. Once we get these velocities off it and the gold is on there, oh, it's gonna be so nice. And I know they don't have the Polaris sticker on them, and I don't think I'm gonna be putting one on. The only one that I might leave is the VR one. I think I'm even gonna take the 850 off and go kind of stealth bomber in this thing. Elvis Nash, what do you think? Huh? Good talk. So, we are coming together. Ooh, it looks good from this angle. And a lot of guys are asking, how bad do the handguards hit? And they hit, obviously. But here's your thing, and this is what me and Jake were just talking about a little while ago. They hit, you know, pretty much just before full lock, and yeah, you could keep going. The amount of times that you turn at full lock when you're riding is pretty much never. If you're at full lock when you're going, you have a bigger issue than your handguards hitting your windshield. I could probably ride this thing all year and those handguards hit that windshield 4 times. And like we were saying, it's probably getting gas or trying to get into a little bit tighter spot. But when you're actually riding, I don't see you hitting the handguards on the windshield that often. So again, that's my 2 cents. You don't need a tall riser, and it doesn't matter if your handguards hit the windshield. So that's it. We have our skid. Ooh, Nash is doing some stretching. We have our skid back together. We have heavy duty springs in. We have revalve shocks in. We have track in. We have doors done, side panels done, painted windshield, handguards, riser. We're getting there. We are kind of on closing stages of this, which is pretty exciting and also scary. Hopefully we get some snow. Riding season's what, like 3 weeks away from being open? Right, somewhere around there. So I can't wait to get this skid in and get this big wheel kit in and see what that looks like. That'll be our next adventure. Will be getting the wheel set up, getting this all bolted in, getting that ready to go. So we can throw that back in the sled. And then we'll have a technically rolling chassis. So that's probably gonna do it for this one. We're gonna wrap up. Probably gonna get some food, eat some food, hang out. But that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. Hope you liked this one as well. I'm getting excited. I hope you guys are getting excited. Again, if you guys want to know anything, have any questions about anything, want me to go into detail about anything, let me know. I'll be happy to do so. But for now, that's it. We're going to sit here and admire Bruno and have some food and a couple beverages probably. So see you guys in the next one. Make sure to like and subscribe. See ya.